In a world where engagements are not prolonged, this is not that world. Welcome to the Prolonged Engagement Show. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Sarah. That opening
Fine,
scared
screw
me.
you.
I wasn't sure what the hell you were doing. I thought that you were kidding around again.
Who cares? This is my show.
Your show?
Mine.
Do I need to go sit over there?
Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. At any rate, you are probably watching this on YouTube. If not watching this on YouTube, you're listening to this on your podcast app, on your iPhone. You know what and if you're ever confused about how you can find these shows, you can go to theprolongedengagement.com.
She's being really
Because we have links to freaking everything on there, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Content galore. It's like content crazy up in
Yes,
this.
it is.
All right. So anyway, I know it's been over a week, and you haven't heard anything from us. We did not put anything out on social media. Nothing.
About anything.
About anything.
And there's a good reason for it. So please forgive us.
Literally.
I think it was the day after.
So we had, gotten back into the swing of things. So the show came out on Monday. Tuesday night, we got a phone call, and we learned that Sarah's grandmother had suddenly passed away.
Paternal grandmother.
And so we flew down to Orlando to take care of some things and go to the funeral and whatnot. And so we were there up until last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so that's why we hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
Took the week off.
For emotional reasons, because I'm still a mess. Sorry, y'all.
So not going to talk about it because it's not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Instead,
we're going to talk about what we were supposed to talk about last Monday. We went to go see Pokemon Symphonic Evolutions. Yes.
Which I thought was fantastic.
Yes.
Did you not?
It was fantastic.
So there's this place out in Vienna, Virginia.
Called Wolf Trap?
Called Wolf Trap. And they have a huge outdoor amphitheater, but it's more like a regular theater than an amphitheater, right?
Yeah.
I guess you could...
Except for there's no sides.
Right. There's no sides. It's all open. There's no air conditioning or anything like that. But so it was the National Symphonic Orchestra that put on the
Symphony.
show. The National
Symphony Orchestra.
Symphonic Orchestra. That's what I said.
No, symphony. I thought the
National Symphonic Symphony?
Orchestra.
It's the National Symphonic Orchestra.
I thought it was National Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, you're confusing me now. It's National Symphonic Orchestra.
Fine.
I'm 95% positive about that one. I don't think it matters. I think they go by either.
Yeah.
At any rate.
They said either. She said both.
At any rate, I thought this show was freaking fantastic. Now it started off with red, blue, yellow, then went to gold, silver, crystal. Then after that, it went to ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, pearl, platinum, black, white, 2, and then
X and Y.
X and Y. They didn't really do anything from Black, White 2, right?
No.
I want to know. That's the only Pokemon game I missed out on.
No, they actually didn't.
Did
I
not buy
remember
that
that because they just skipped over it.
Yeah, they skipped over it completely and went straight into X and Y. Of course, they didn't do anything from, they, of course, kept out the remakes.
Mm-hmm.
The Fire Red, Leaf Green, the Heart Gold, Soul Silver,
Yes.
and the subsequent Omega Red and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
I was still very surprised
What do you mean?
about one of the songs they did not do.
Which one?
Lavender Town.
Yeah, no. They went all through Red and Blue and didn't do Lavender Town. I was really.
So I was very surprised about that.
I was very surprised about that. I thought for sure they were going to do that because that's like, I mean, when you're thinking of
When you think of Red, Blue, and Yellow, you think of Lavender Town.
that's I do.
And I can still hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dun dun ding dun 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 ding dun. Oh, better not do that. I'll get copyright. Anyway, the but they
won't.
did do the I'm making a joke.
I know, because we've been
The
copyrighted
only
now twice.
times that have been copyrighted. All right. So
Stupid
and they've
shit.
been like stupid shit. Anyway, yeah,
Can't
we
get
got
one
it.
more.
We got it for we got it for that original one, the episode 3, I think, when we
Yeah.
actually played the music on there, and I was like, there we go.
Mhm.
That's when we were still in our like only care about the podcasting side of it thing. So, at any rate,
And then
and then I got one for freaking Batman because it had
Thanks for
this song in there. What the hell? If you're listening to this, my computer decided to go to sleep. Hold on. I don't have all day to work on that thing. It's
it's acting up.
what can I do?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's because this is an old Mac, and old meaning 2011 old. You go there with me anyway.
But I figured out why they could not play Lavender Town.
Why?
So I was remembering something. Because you know me, I'm the queen of creepypastas.
Okay.
And I remember there's a creepypasta about Lavender Town about how the music actually gave kids migraines and caused them to commit suicide.
I don't think that's the reason.
I think it might be actually just because they're like we don't want to push it, we don't want to cause waves and shit.
Yeah, right.
So they were like, we're not going to.
I
play
think that
song.
was because of the actual waveforms that it created on the Game Boy.
It was actually because the original waveforms created on the Game Boy only in the Japan version.
Yeah, so
they're just, but like people still get the symptoms due to
it's a bunch of crap.
due to just the effect of being idiots.
But yeah, they did do the rocket hideout. I
know.
That was really cool. The really awesome thing was that while they were playing this music, and this was not like, note for note, exactly what was off of the game, because why would you have a symphony orchestra do it if
It's 8-bit.
if it's 8-bit? It's kind of impossible.
True.
So I mean, they were like what'd she say?
They reimagined.
Mm-hmm. But it was by the music guy
Who
at
did
Nintendo.
the original Nintendo game, the games.
Yeah. So it was like a reimagining.
But it brought you back to it.
Yeah, it really did.
Especially,
and you still had the notes were still there.
yes.
So you could follow along with it, and it's like, oh, it wasn't just hearing the game music off of your Game Boy. It was hearing it, like it was supposed to be heard, things like that.
Yeah. Just I just love the way they opened.
With the
that part. It made me. I honestly sat there like a kid, and I.
they of course they did the main theme. So
but just not.
That whole thing.
Yeah, but they did it not just for the first one, but they showed how it changed over time.
Yeah, because throughout this whole thing, they had the huge screen up.
Yes.
And they were showing different pieces of the game. So that during the beginning, the theme song one, they were running through the different
games.
The press start screens.
Yes.
Of all the different Pokemon games. So It went to, of course, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, ruby, sapphire, emerald, and then no. Yes, ruby, sapphire, emerald, and then it went to fire red, leaf green,
I'm just impressed that you remember all of them.
diamond, diamond, pearl, platinum, heart. No, shit.
You missed heart gold and soul silver somewhere in there.
It was black, white, then heart gold, soul silver, then black,
Two
white,
white.
2, then XY. But they did not show Omega, Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire as, since they just came out. And
Yeah.
I think that this show has been going on for a while. So
It's been traveling for a while.
So yeah, it's probably why they didn't show that. But it was really cool. They showed the start screens of all of them. They played through and stuff like that. But and then like during the Rocket Hideout one, they showed
Scenes from the actual
scenes
game.
from when you're going around
And
on
it was
the little
great.
platforms and stuff.
It was great because it was all fans.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching this, and at the same time, the people around you are having the same emotional reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because they even showed like battles in there, like
yeah,
like the player against Giovanni, and then like when the player wins, everyone's like woo!
yeah, you hear everybody go yes, and then it was
Because you're getting that emotional connection to it, which is cool.
And it or when you lost a Pokemon because Pokemon did faint, you'd hear everybody go no.
Yeah, especially if it was a Pokemon like like Charizard or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like people had very visceral reactions.
I loved the little girl that was like 2 rows behind
Oh
us,
my God.
because they had before the show started, they had the old what's that Pokemon thing from the show. And then there's this little girl behind us,
Two rows behind us.
things would come up, she'd go like and it
and screaming at the top of her lungs. The poor guy right behind me was honestly dying. He was laughing so hard at this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a good sport
a
about
couple
it.
of them a couple of the guys they got they said like every Pokemon that would come up, they would say the wrong one on purpose.
Yeah.
Like Jigglypuff,
And then they'd scream, damn it.
and they would say damn it when they were wrong, and things like that. And it's like,
And
I told you when we were walking into this place, I said you were probably going to see, there were going to be 3 groups of people.
and there was.
And there was. It was 3
And you could
groups of
tell the
people.
3 groups of people.
So there was people that were our age. So in, between, I would say between 21 and 28 or so.
Yes.
You're getting around there.
There's actually 4 groups.
There
There were 4 groups.
What?
You're forgetting the 4th.
What?
The perverts.
Oh, I was getting into that.
Okay, go ahead.
So you have the people who are in like our age range who grew up with it, but we still play,
But
we
we're
still
just-
want to go to shows like this, but
we're
we
professionals.
do our own things and we make our own money, and we probably paid for this show on our own and things of that nature. And then you have
The guys who
the little kids who probably their first Pokemon game was
Black and White 2 or
Black and White 2 or
X and Y.
Probably not Black and White 2, but probably we're talking like Diamond and Pearl was their first one, or Black and White was their first one. And I think there's probably some
And
some
the
that
kids
were
who-
X and Y were their first ones when they
Oh,
got
yeah.
a 3DS, things like that.
or the kids who watched the show.
Yeah. And so you saw the groups of the little kids with their parents who they
looked
had,
miserable.
they had no idea what was going on and things like that. And then you had the third group, which was just
The guys who still lived in their mother's basement.
who have one friend, and that one friend also likes Pokemon. And so they pretty much went there to because they don't have anything else to do in their lives.
Yeah.
Kind of sad. But
Derek, as Markiplier would call him.
Yeah.
How dare you! I can't do it.
of course, you're only use your
Yes, this guy. The guy we
starter Pokemon, you're always supposed to put out first card.
because we all know that guy who sits in the parents' basement and play video games all day.
Dude, my Charizard was like at level 100. And everyone else was at level 30. It didn't really matter. I went through the Elite Four and just killed them all. It was brute force, bitch. Brute force. You can't beat that. Oh my god.
It was
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
You had a few cosplayers that had come there.
You had the cosplayers, and then you had the parents who were cosplaying with their kids.
That was weird.
and
I draw the line at that.
that was like one of those ones where I go, let your kids
Yeah.
do what they want. You don't have to be involved.
Yeah, I draw the line at that.
Because the daughter was Misty and the mother was Pikachu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
And what's worse is that the daughter was like
so excited.
she wasn't 12 either.
No,
You know,
the mother.
She
The
was-
daughter was probably my age.
she was at least in high school, if not older than that,
Yeah.
and enjoyed her mother dressing up in all yellow and putting red patches on her face.
And putting Pikachu ears on.
Yeah.
And then you had what I called the fourth group. These are the creepers. Who are honestly there for no good reason. But to stare at the kids.
The 40-year-olds.
Yes.
The 40-year-old males that came alone. It's like...
And not only did they come alone, they came with like blankets. You're not here for a good reason. Please leave. You're creepy.
The cosplay that I really, really enjoyed was the Team Rocket cosplay. There was about...
Their costumes were fantastic.
There was about 3 of them, and then there were 2 of them. And they all met together. They didn't, like, come together or anything?
No, but they knew each other outside of it.
I don't think they did.
They did.
Hmm?
They were friends. And they didn't know that the other ones were coming.
Oh, but they all dressed up as team? That's just
Yes.
weird. Okay, anyway. But they came together, and they were like, oh my god, we have to take a picture. And then one of them said, like, you know, hey, did you guys see a lift key? I think I dropped it somewhere. And I was like, done. You just win everything.
Yeah. They
You
were
just
good.
you just won everything just by saying that. Yeah, I dropped the lift key, and I was just like, that's it. My whole night's made. I can go home now.
They were really cool.
My biggest thing about the Symphonic Evolutions was that the National Symphonic Orchestra was playing Pokemon music.
Yeah. And the woman who was orchestrating
Mm-hmm.
has won awards.
Yeah. It's, they weren't sitting there going like, the orchestra wasn't sitting there going, oh, I'm playing Pokemon music.
No, they were really into
Look what
it.
my life has come down to. It's like, we've gotten to this point where, video games, and it's awesome because video games haven't been around all that long.
Honestly,
we've had
probably only 20.
we've only had 30 years of Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, and just see, and we've only had 20 years of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Make me feel old.
I mean, 20 years, you're talking a long time, but that's a lot of stride for video games to come into their element, and they're still not seen as as an art form, but they are.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're an art form when the music from a video game from a damn handheld console like a Game Boy, something where you couldn't put all that much high fidelity music on there. It's not like this stuff is it just really blew my mind thinking about it. And I thought that it was a great testament to how far video games have come and how serious people are taking the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It was really refreshing.
It was just so interesting to see how different. Because, okay, I've never been to Comic-Con. I've never been to a con. I want to go, but I've never been. But just how it's just become almost like this is normal. That video games are part of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that even when I was a kid, they weren't seen that way.
Well, we were getting into it. I mean, everyone had. By the time that we were in high school, everyone had a video game console.
Yes.
No. Because, we graduated in 2009. The PS3, the Xbox 360 were well into their own by that time. Everyone had
But
their game consoles and whatnot.
Like, I don't know how many people can even attest to this. Oh, God, I'm going to give away my age. I was one of the very rare few people who had a computer in their home as a child.
Well, that was becoming the norm for children of our generation.
Yeah, but that still wasn't.
There was one computer.
There was one.
You had a
computer.
family computer, is what
Yes.
you had.
We had the family computer in the living room, no less.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone to use. It was namely my parents using it for work, but I was still able to use it. There were still learning games on it for me.
Which are video games? That's what they are.
My parents that. They wouldn't let me play them unless I was learning something. I'm tired.
It's I just thought it was a cool testament. To that, and
the way that video games are changing in our society, in the view of our society, that they're no longer being
the violence in video games causes.
It's finally going away.
It's finally going away because you want to know why? Because the old guys are dead now. Exactly what happens is prejudices are held onto by old people. People who are, set in their ways. And when, our generation will have our own things that we'll be set in our ways about.
Yeah.
And then the people below us will sit there and go, well, this new thing that we're all on board on, it'll finally see, its maturity when the old people die out.
Yeah.
And I can respect that because it's true. The things that we see as the norm, the things that we, that we take for granted, in the ideals of our generation, I think, they'll become the norm, when the old people die out. And we'll be 50-year-olds playing video games, and it'll be, people sit there. The video game market will have to sit there and go, oh, well, now we're marketing these games to 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
They'll have to think about that.
Yeah. Which will be very
not to say that there are some 50-year-olds out there that play video games that have, gone with it and, understood the the vitality
they were probably
of it
teenagers
like
in the 80s when video games started popping up.
Well, the people who are in their 50s now were born in the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
So
so they were probably teenagers.
They were in their 20s by the time that video games.
So some of them probably really got
started.
into the video games though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were
and
probably, newer age and whatnot. But.
Yeah, and so they were like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So they're still playing it. What?
Just checking time. But
I like video games, honestly. I know we don't talk about them enough.
I want to do
Let's Play Fridays.
I want to start doing Let's Play Fridays since we have
that sounds fun.
Since we have Monday through Thursday of doing the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, we don't have anything on Fridays. And I was like, I wonder if we should just put out a Let's Play video every single week.
Yeah.
Of something, whether or not it's Smash or Kart, or something else.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe.
Did you want to try to do tabletop games?
No.
Because I know those are really popular.
No.
Again.
How the hell are we going to do tabletop games?
You put one over top.
What? I'm not talking technically.
Oh.
How the hell are you going to find tabletop games that two people are going to play?
No, I mean when we get four.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you talk Annie and John or any of our other friends into playing Cards Against Humanity, then...
Annie, please.
Please. And them recording it,
I tried this time. I tried last time.
At any rate.
No one was interested.
At any rate.
But it was an idea of mine. I do want to warn you guys, where you're traveling back down to Florida. So we are planning to do shows while we're down
Had
there.
lots of Florida time, oddly, over the summer. We're gonna do
We are going
we
to do
were
shows.
going so we're going to record shows now. And
Ow.
not now.
Okay.
Not now. But we're gonna record shows before we leave. My hopes are to have 3 weeks worth of stuff, and then whatever we do,
To
if we end up
supplement.
coming up with content while we're down there, instead of like what we ran into when we went down there for the couple of weeks, and we ended up having like 3 weeks of no content.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that again. I want to have it to where I'm, we should
Even though
make
we did
some,
get more,
Hmm?
we got more people when we didn't do videos.
Yeah, no, we should just stop doing videos and get more. Well, it didn't happen this past week, so that's thrown out the table. But
Damn it.
Any rate. Okay, everybody. Well, this was the prolonged engagement show. My
We
name
didn't say
is
what number this
Kyle.
was.
I don't remember what number it is, and I'm not screwing it up like I did last time. Here, I'll look it up. I looked it up. It's episode 31 of the prolonged engagement show. Last the last 4 were all Sarah's fault, and you can blame her for it. And mark it in the comments and say it's your fault.
I'm sorry. I really don't do well with numbers. Numbers don't mean a damn thing to me.
I don't care. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow
Yeah.
with more light. I have got to get better light.
Yeah, we do. How the fuck did we end up in shadow like this?
It's awful.
It really is.
Bye.
You have no light on your face.